Jeffrey, it's always great seeing you, but what Canada's Walk of Fame? Because for a lot of us in the press, we're really excited about this one because we're talking about Canadian rock, Canadian music, Canadian legacy.
It's amazing, actually, and the fact that we, this team of hundreds here today, but have been able to pull it off is extraordinary. We wanted to do something special for the 25th anniversary. We wanted to find things that made a big difference, and Jody in our office in Griffin, we just looked at what we could do. And the 70s and 80s are incredible time in Canadian music history. The DJs that brought them to life are all here. And these bands have hundreds of Junos, hundreds of nominations. They've told incredible stories. They've been part of our upbringing in this country. And like some of our great inductees that are not musicians, Chris Hadfields and Banting and Best and Colin McLeod, you know, they're all now on the same stage and they've all impacted us as Canadians.
How did they feel when you guys told them this was happening? Because, of course, not a lot of the music is being played on regular Top 40. We've got stations like Boom that they're being played on, and for us, that's still the best music.
It is, and you know what? I said to someone the other day, you go to a bar mitzvah or a kid's party, you know, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, a confirmation party, and they're playing this music, and they're playing the songs that we grew up in, and that's what gives me hope about music in the world, because it is incredible music. I think a lot of the bands, when Gilmore from Triumph, who inducted a few years ago into Walk of Fame, was our partner, Randy Lennox, of course, one of our partners on this project, they called them, and the bands were just thrilled to be able to be in the same category as the other bands, you know, Max Webster and Alan Frew and Carol Pope and Trooper, and they all inspired each other. And so I don't know as much as some of the older group that worked with us on this project about their history, but it's extraordinary.
It definitely is. Look, I know I don't want to take too much time away from you, but I'm just curious. A lot of us had a chance to see 299 Queen Street West. What do you think about maybe Canada's Walk of Fame honoring the VJs and the folks behind much music, and maybe one day they get a collective star?
It's a great idea. There's no bad ideas, and I think that one of the things we've done at Walk of Fame over the last few years with our partners and our sponsors and our friends is tried to make it mean more to more people more often, and not just a one-night stand in Toronto. We're now creating a much bigger opportunity to celebrate more Canadians, including those wonderful VJs and Moses Nimers and people like that have been a part of it for years. So stay tuned.
Okay, well, look, my friend, I know you got a show to go and kick off. Have a great time, and thank you again for giving these folks such a great honor.
Thanks. Always good to see you, my friend.
Eric, I got to tell you something. Watching 299 Queen Street West was amazing. It brought back so many memories. How did you folks feel, not just watching yourselves from back in the day, but also knowing that we all love you guys, respect what you guys did for us, and the fact that we followed your journey together?
I don't know if we all knew that they loved and respected us back then. We were ducking shit and stuff like that. Oh, no, look out, look, was that an egg? Yeah, that was an egg. I don't think we really knew it, but we didn't really care. We were there to do what we were designed to do almost, and we just did it to the best of our abilities, and when it was over, it was over. So to look at it on the screen was, wow, it was pretty overwhelming for me, and a little bit cathartic, but I think I have to see it again. Just as they were talking about the end, I had to run to the bathroom, but I heard my voice, so I stopped. I had the door open, I stopped, and I went, oh, I said that? Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, let me go. I'll come back and I'll see it again. So it was really exciting. It was really exciting, but very different and a little scary for me.
Erica, queen of much music, how did you feel about all this?
I think cathartic is a really good choice of words, as Michael just said. I had a very difficult time when Much Music first started, and I had to walk through fire. And people were not kind to me. I'm really grateful that everybody has a short memory and everybody sees me now as the queen of much. But I really had to earn my way in, and I'm grateful for all the wonderful things that people are saying now. I'm just taking it all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm working on a book, and it's as I sit down and write the book, it might be a lot different from other people's memories, but it's pretty accurate to mine. Like she said, it got rough. It was rougher than I really even care to say here. In the book, I will. But it was interesting. It was a great time. it was an important time in history too, in musical history here in the country. Without much music, music in Canada would not be the same, and music in the world would not be the same, because we gave so many Canadians opportunities that just went out there and just killed. That Canada has more producers per square foot in every type of music you could imagine, but especially hip hop and especially Bollywood music. And they're all amazing because they grew up differently. They heard different music. It was all brought into their psyche, into their homes and stuff like that. And the important thing about Much is that we were invited into homes. You know, it wasn't free. We were invited into homes. That means that somebody had to pay for us. So if they pay for you, they must want you.
You know, I spoke with Jeffrey Latimer, and I said that I had a chance to see the film, and I said, what are the chances of the Much Music crew together being inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame? He said to me, that's a pretty good idea. What do you think about that?
I'm in, especially if they throw a big party like this.
Yeah.
The Walk of Fame, I think we're owed a couple of Junos at least, and we're definitely owed the Order of Canada. Moses a separate one, John Martin and Nancy separate ones, and for the crew and everybody else, one statue with an acetylene torch that we can chop it up into a couple thousand people that were the whole staff of Much Music, and then of course the company Bell can pay for us all to have our individual ones because we should and they should.
Well, I got to say again, folks, thank you so much for the great memories. Michael, as I said, thank you for being my first celebrity interview, which I will never forget. Like you said, you talked to me for an hour, and I was just a kid trying to hopefully get in there. And Erica, why do you think I never got into Much when I asked Donaldin about my video not being chosen? I mean, I'm still hurting from that.
Yeah, listen, everybody and their dog wanted to be on Much Music, and there just wasn't enough space for everybody. But that's why we had shows like RSVP, and that's why we had the window, and that's why we brought kooky people like you on air all the time with us, because the show was really for you and by you at the end of the day. The audience was everything. And in fact, the movie showed that the audience was so important at Much.
And no cell phones. That was the incredible thing. People were engaged. Folks, thank you so much. Can't wait to talk to you again together when you guys are inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame.
We will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this interview, but more importantly, man, 299 Queen Street West, that was amazing. How did it feel being able to watch what you guys did? I mean, you yourself, the empress of music, and you, sir, you were a crazy man, but man, did you ever entertain us.
You know what? When I looked at it, I realized we really, each of us had our niche. I mean, I knew that then, but even more is so evident in this documentary that, you know, Monika did what she did, which was, you know, very beautiful and cool. Michael, you're welcome.
I was gonna say, come on.
Yeah, no, I had an issue of being goofy, but you know, the interviews that were done, that Erica ended up doing, and that Michael ended up doing, there were real conversations, there were real attachments and connections that happened, which I said when we had the Q&A that I was not part of that. I was not. I was kind of on the fringe, kind of make people laugh. But seeing that the whole spectrum of what can happen on a television channel happening at Much Music was really quite profound for me.
You feel the same way?
Well, okay, first of all, I just want to say, and you can ask people this, I have said to people all the way along that this is one of the most talented people ever in broadcasting. I've never had anything but respect for this man. His talent is on another level. And
Does it feel like she's reciprocating because I complimented her?
You can ask my kids. You can ask my nephews who I had dinner with the other day and said that too. So no. And they said, have you told Steve that? And I said, you know what? I should.
Would you go tell him?
So here I am.
Go tell him.
Camera. Absolutely. But no, so being a part of Much was we were unicorns. That's what I think of it. It was magical. It was a time that will never happen again because nobody will ever take chances like that again. Everything's way too corporate.
It's just the world is far more sophisticated now. I mean, when you have 6-year-olds complaining about not having the iPhone 15,
okay,
you know you got a little bit of a different landscape to work in.
I think it's more corporate. I think it's just so much more corporate, and I kind of feel like that's what's happened. And So to me, I think it was the fact that we were just kind of told to just be ourselves. And we were. We were. Like, we were authentically who we were on camera and off.
I knew I was, because I didn't know how to do anything. And I was still allowed to do it, whatever that was. What are you trying to do, Steve? I have no idea what I'm trying to do. Is it working? Not really, but keep doing it. You'll get better at it.
I just always thought, just try everything once. And if it's live television, if it doesn't work, we'll never do it again.
That's right.
Well. So I would jump on
I think that was the problem.
streetcars.
A lot of times they didn't tell you to stop doing it.
Yeah, and you just kind of went with it. And, I remember jumping on streetcars, pulling people off the streetcar to come dance. I mean, things you couldn't set up if you tried to, And that's what that spirit was to me. That will never happen again.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you're not done yet. As we speak, tomorrow night, we got a big party.
Yes, we do. I can't wait. It is.
She invited me.
I did.
Are you gonna be
invite
there?
you. Yes. You better be. You said you're coming.
I know.
You're on the list.
I know. I'm on the list.
Yeah.
How many times have I heard that? You're on the list.
You're on the list. He's on the list. No,
I swear to God, I'm on the list. Mr. Dorman, I'm on the list.
It is the 35th anniversary of Electric Circus, which is insane. Almost to the day. We're a week off. And it's insane that this show resonated with that many people that I swear to you, every day, still get people saying, wait a minute, I used to watch that show. And they always say it with a smile on their face. And it takes them back to a time in their life where things were maybe easier, more fun, everybody was younger. And it's so amazing to be at Lavelle to celebrate
You've been around
35
so long
years of BC.
that I remember learning how to speak a language watching you, because it was just baby talk before that. I've been there for so long. I'm just talking about we're older, and we're thinking there are kids right now that actually
True.
they were in diapers when moms and dads were watching this.
You know what? And there's times where I say to people that you couldn't have watched me. You're way too young. And they say, "Oh no, my older sister used to watch you." So I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." But no, EC to me was always about people. It was about the dancers. It was about the people outside. It was about the kid watching in Estevan, Saskatchewan, and that sense of belonging.
Why'd you choose that place?
Because I played there with my band.
There you go. Right.
I've been to Estevan, Saskatchewan, and I think just that feeling of everybody belonging and being part of the same tribe, that's what EC was about.
I like that word, tribe.
Love that. Folks, thank you so much. Have a great time tonight. And I'll see you tomorrow night.
Are you going to be? Yes.
gonna be there.
Yay. Perfect. See
Coffee.
you tomorrow. Thank you.
I want to ask you, how are you doing? Because, musically, reporter-wise, broadcast-wise, you are a legend. But what you've endured for the last couple of years and how you've shown your strength, I think trumps everything that your career could have ever done.
Rudy, I gotta tell you, the last year of my life has been one of the most incredible years of my life. A time that I thought was going to really do me in and be a horrifying journey turned out to be an amazing journey. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about human nature, about the world, about medicine, and I came out of it a bigger, better, stronger, braver, wiser person. So I'm very grateful for all of that.
Well, we are not just grateful that you are here with us, but more importantly, we are also grateful, too, for what you did in back of the day. The new music. We all watched. We all learned. It was guerrilla warfare and what you and JD did, which helped really bring that, what we see today in entertainment, broadcasting. You guys were the first.
Well, we really do have to credit the late, great John Martin, who was the producer that masterminded the whole thing. He went to Moses Neimer with this brilliant idea back in the late 70s, and Moses said, okay, knock yourself out, go for it. And we started that show before MTV was even a thing. So we truly were the first, and for Canadians to have led the way for that kind of television, yeah, I'm so glad I was there from the get-go.
I tried to copy some of your interviews, meaning, of course, when you guys would do interviews in hallways, in bars, and, in the most grittiest places, but it resonated. What do you think why it worked, especially back then?
Because back then it was all about authenticity, and we didn't really know what we were doing, and sometimes when you fly by the seat of your pants, you get the best stuff because it's improv, and that's really what rock and roll is all about. Like tonight's show, We haven't had much of a rehearsal. I think we're going to be flying by the seat of our pants a bit. Hopefully it'll work in our favor. But yeah, I think that was the whole thing. It was gritty, it was in your face, it was honest, it was raw, it was real.
How does it feel knowing, though, that all these artists who are being honored today, you guys helped break them in or give them their stage where maybe other platforms did not?
Well, I think a lot of radio people were very instrumental in their success.
Canada, yes, but I'm talking about the rest of the world.
Well, the rest of the world, doesn't always pay that much attention to Canada, sadly, and sometimes we have to scream twice as loud to make our voices heard. There are also a lot of great rock journalists that used to write about the scene in such a brilliant way. I think of the late Peter Goddard, who was instrumental in helping promote the careers of some of these incredible musicians. So we're celebrating those who are here with us. We're celebrating those who maybe aren't here anymore, but just such a thrill to be part of this family. I'm just so proud.
We are thrilled that you have done what you did in the past and continue to do in the future. Congratulations, and thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks so much, Rudy. A pleasure seeing you.